This episode is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Today's episode of the day is Clever Name 2. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline. That's patreon.com/calltheline.
Hey, y'all, if you want to be patron of the day, literally, first of all, just go become a patron, but leave a comment on the episode. That's how we pick them, and we're like cycling between the same 6 of you now. So it's not that hard. Like, whoever the new person is this week,
we'll probably get picked.
You're probably going to be the next patron of the day. Well, let's do the show.
Okay.
I'm just going to let that be the intro, I think. I think that's it. Welcome, everybody. It is Friday, May 9th, 2025, and we are still alive.
Barely. Despite all of our best efforts. No, just kidding.
That's true. Nah, I haven't tried that hard. It's actually, it's funny because of well, that would be a messed up joke to make, but it's surprisingly easy to pull off, actually. If your mind is really put to it, but you shouldn't. And by the way, if you or anybody you know is currently having dark suicidal thoughts, things of this nature, please reach out to the suicide hotline or check if your state has any local resources, as those crisis centers are often easier to access. But I feel like anytime, you know how at the beginning of a show, like if anybody ever references suicide or makes a joke during the show, they like at the beginning of the show will be like, here's the suicide hotline information. I feel compelled to do that because we just did that. So
I think that isn't the suicide hotline in the US no longer funded?
That would suck. Is that true? Is that our breaking news? I really hope that that's not true. Let's find out.
No, I think it's fine. I think it is okay.
Okay, that's good.
It's 988 if you are
I didn't know. I thought for some reason I thought it was 8. Okay, good. 988.
Yeah. 988.
That would be weird for them to have gone for, since he does pretend to care about veterans, and I feel like they disproportionately, though they might have their own ones. But again, I will tell you, like your state may have one that has better access. There's often live chats. Colorado had one. I think Texas, I think has one. And there are other crisis hotlines too. So say you belong to a certain group, you might check if there's a crisis hotline for LGBTQ people or whatever. There are lots of different resources out there. Get help. Speaking of help and places that have a call-in line, more geared toward people not in full crisis, but mini crisis, we are about to do a fundraiser for Recovering from Religion, which is my favorite organization, charity in the whole world. Over on our channel, The Line, we're trying to raise, well, the official goal is 60,000. Our official stretch goal, 75,000. We did 69 the year before. Nice. But thank you. We did 69 the year before. We want to hit at least 75. I have offered a super stretch goal that we can all pray for, that I think everybody wants to see.
It's like, I want us to reach this goal, and I also really don't want to see the result of the goal.
So for $100,000, people, I'm going to do something I've never done as a person in my 30s. I'm now 35. I'm going to do something that I don't think I've done by choice pretty much as an adult. There were reasons I had to do it a couple times in my 20s. But I am going to shave off my beard. Everything from the nose down. 'Cause someone did point out when I said I'll shave my whole face off. They were like, eyebrows too? Obviously not. Shut up. I'm not trying to look emaciated, just clean shaven. Nose down through the neck. I'll go clean shaven. Somebody was like, why stop there? And I was like, beyond there's already ugly. So it's like, this is about being ugly for $100,000.
Oh my God. Jimmy went on Snapchat and found a filter to see what this would look like. And I said, it looks like he is going to mansplain Bitcoin to me.
I will say I've seen what I look like without it. And my biggest fear is, I've lost a lot of weight, but my biggest fear is I think the what you saw might be better than what it actually looks like. And it wasn't good. So I think the shaving might be worse and the Snapchat filter was bad. Yeah. Here's the thing. I have to keep this beard because I keep making fun of Donald Trump's jawline, knowing that were I to have an accident in a bottle of Nair, everyone would find out that Donald Trump and I might be related.
Oh, God.
Through the jawline. It basically, once the beard comes off, you realize my mouth is just sort of set in the middle of my neck. It just goes nose,
Oh,
neck.
my God.
It's pretty bad.
That's really funny.
It's not great. Anyway, I mean, you can remember that episode where I turned profile a bunch and I was like, y'all seeing why I always shoot head on?
I
So
know.
I think we focused on my forehead more for that.
Yeah, I mean, if in the event that you do actually shave, I'm going to be interested to see this no chin, situation, this whatever that you got going on.
That might be a different tier. $100,000 shaved off and I'll look head on.
And
125, I'll turn to the side. So, bouncing around, doing a little wiggle action. Now, I will say there is another stretch goal. I did put a reel, and it's legitimate. I'm telling the truth, people. For $150,000, I think I want to watch Alyssa's reaction in real time. $150,000, and I will hire a graphic designer to do a new logo. In the end, I win.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
Thank you.
That's really funny.
Thank you. Look.
Oh my God.
I'll let the trolls have their day. The people who are so mad and so angry about the Line logo. Yeah. Y'all now have the opportunity to prove how much that matters to you by raising $150,000. Yeah. And I'll do it. And look, if we hit 149, no new logo. That's how it's going to go. 150, it's happened. By the way, we raised $99,999. And we don't break 100,000 until 9:01 on Saturday, because that's the cutoff, 9:01 Central. I ain't shaving.
Okay, if that happens, it'll be my dollar. Which in some ways is your dollar. I'm just gonna filter it back in.
That's true. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be more violent than that. You were
It'll
gonna be like, if that
dollar.
happens, I will come to Texas, tie you down. And then people are like, where's this going? And shave your beard off.
No.
Yep. I would never. Don't worry. Well, I mean, I guess for efficiency, the good news is I already have the tie downs. I already have the tethers.
The tethers.
They're already available and set up. Anyway, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun event. We've got a ton of great people coming on Friday, or later today, I should say. We're doing a bunch of events with individual creators that you may have wanted to do more of like an AMA with. Genetically Modified Skeptics doing one with Owen Morgan. Jesus Christ is joining Promise and I for blessings. We're going to have Jesus Christ on to give out blessings at noon. Then we have, oh my God, what are the other shows? Sarah Gibson is going to be joining me later in that day also. And there's another one I know, and it's one I'm excited for, but I can't think of it off the top of my head because I am so bad at my job. I will find out and then apologize profusely for y'all. Don't even know how much I've been like going get all this put together.
Yeah, you've been on psycho mode trying to get all this together because it's a lot of work. This weekend at my sister's wedding, obviously it was a lot of family time, and my brother lost his wallet at some point, and I'm with my mom and my nonna and like a bunch of my family members trying to find his wallet, and my nonna is praying to Saint Anthony, because that's what Italian people do when we lose things. And like eventually we figure out that the wallet was at the venue. It was where he thought it was, but it was like they have these lockers, and he's really tall, and so I guess when he like tossed it in, it like went all the way to the back. So when he checked there first, he didn't see it. When we finally found it, the way that my nonna gave all of the credit to her specifically praying to St. Anthony, I was like, I can't take it. Family time is hard.
I used to do the same thing when I was a child, but then when I just quote the scriptures, but then when I was no longer a child, I put childish things aside. But one of my stories, like my testimony bearing stories, involved me trying to find my Game Boy. I'm talking original Alyssa, the gray one.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Because my brother was antagonizing me and I just wanted to escape it. And I said a prayer and then I remembered where I left it immediately after the prayer. Wow. And it's funny because I believed for a long time that was God wanting me to isolate from my mean brother and find it. And then when I got a little older, I actually found out it's a memory trick I can just do, that I actually am very good at closing my eyes and retracing my steps.
Oh.
And so like when I lose my keys I'm not as good now. In my 20s, it was like perfect. I used to like almost do it as a party trick for people who lived with me. They'd be like, bro, what? That was crazy. But yeah, I learned that actually it was a thing I could just do. I'm pretty good at retracing my steps and remembering like, oh, I did the blah, blah, blah. I can kind of, I'm still, I'd say better than average, but not like I used to be. I used to be, drugs took their toll on me. Being sick took its toll on me. My brain used to be way better than it is now. Now I'm low-key dumb now.
No, you're not.
A little. Anyway, comparatively, at least, relatively, I was much smarter. More intellectually capable, but more wrong about a lot of stuff too. It's kind of an ironic thing.
I think as we get older, I don't know. I feel like as I've gotten older, I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
My cognitive ability is just there are some days where it's just in the fucking toilet, where I'm like, I have no thoughts in my brain. My brain is empty. If you put a shell to my ear, you would hear the ocean, and that's it. Like there's some days where it just is like that. There
are times where I just will lose. Now it's like, I can retrace my steps perfect, but now I'm having more days where I'm like, why did I walk into the living room?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's what I'm saying.
The things that bring me that joy that used to be from something like, oh my God, I just figured out something. Oh, wow, I feel great. Now that happens for like ridiculous things. I called people yesterday because I was sitting on my toilet and I was using my bidet, and I like kind of like put a little too much weight on it's got like a little L thing that sticks out, and then you turn it and that turns the water on. I put a little too much weight on it, and I felt it like move down. I was like, wait, this thing moves? And I'm like, is that safe? And I like moved it wondering it. And I realized that this handle that juts out, you push on it and it changes the angle of the thing. You can basically use it to change what you're hitting or wipe it. I've been using this thing for years, and I had no idea that was how this thing worked. And I called people to be like, if you have this bidet.
Which bidet is it? Because I have one.
And does it have like an arm that sticks out that you turn a sort of longer knob to? Yeah. Oh my God. You have to try it as soon as you get home. That thing pushes down and changes the angle. And that thing can go all the way. Like I could make it shoot from, it's probably like just behind my butthole usually. I was doing like a rocking.
Yeah, me too. I got to calibrate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's about to change your life. I'm so excited to be the person who told you. I'm like humping like, I'm working out my twerking muscles. I'm doing a little bit of a salsa to get it perfect. And you can just, you just push on this thing and it moves it. Did I take a picture? I might have taken a picture of it.
That's
of the toilet,
crazy.
just see if it's the same one. Yeah. If you're listening right now and you have a bidet, go check.
What have we been doing, guys?
All right, I'm sending you a picture. You tell me if this is your bidet, basically.
Okay.
Because it literally like it moves the thing.
No, yours looks nicer than mine, but I don't know. Maybe mine
is it a similar style?
It is in that it has an arm and then like there's like a part that you turn at the end, but I'm not sure.
Okay, well, mine I can literally change the angle by just moving that around. By the way, people, we are going to talk about some new stuff. It'll be a little bit of a shorter show because we are so focused on right now getting all of that organized is like consuming my every thought, and I have to get back to it. But here is the thing, Mabobber, the people on the people and the purple hat, cheetah print, people on the people. I got anyway. That's stuck in my head right now.
What is
you know that line?
No.
Everybody in the room. I don't know, something like that. Purple hat, cheetah print, people on the people. I got people on the people. You know
what is going on? I'm very confused.
It's like a dance song. Okay. By the way, the one I was forgetting is Austin Archer and Forrest Valkai will be doing a little AMA thing together too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm shocked you forgot that. You've been very excited about this, so that's crazy.
I think it's because I was trying to remember most of the other ones, the featured guest is somebody who doesn't already work at the line.
Right.
Whereas Austin now does. We added Austin recently, and Forrest does too.
Exciting.
Before we get to the news, the big thing of the day being the new Pope.
Yeah.
There's a new Pope. Here's a little bit of a TLDR for people who don't want to wait for it. He's not the least Nazi-ish Pope we could have had, but he's by no means the most. He's not as progressive, most likely, as Francis. And the thing that I want to discuss with Alyssa is, do we think I joked about it last week about, does Donald Trump think he can influence who the Pope's going to be? the choice feels a little bit like, because most people were saying between these few people, and there was a Filipino guy who looked set to get it, they went with the American, a United States person, a dude from Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago people.
Insane.
Did the church give Trump an American pope? I want to know. I want to know if that's I think he'll take credit. I think he's going to say either way.
I think he'll absolutely take credit. He'll absolutely take credit for it.
I'll tell you more about him soon. I want to talk about something else before we get hard in the combo. But feel free to whatever you're going to say. If it's a quick comment, go ahead. Just don't say the bigger combo.
Yeah. I'll just say briefly that I don't think that it's impossible.
Yeah, I don't either. I think a lot of people are trying to placate America right now, and it might not even be about Trump specifically as much as America in general. But here's the thing, people. We go all over the place. We're going to take a break in a minute. When we come back, it'll be all news. But we often do review some comments that we get from previous episodes. And this one's a little bit weird for me because it happens to me periodically. Actually, it happens to me more than you would think it happens because people think I just won't even hear criticism. But sometimes somebody will say something that's a bit of a call out, and my initial response will be like, shut the fuck up. You're just so wrong. And then I'll just it'll keep hitting my head, and I'll be like, okay, this is in my head for a reason. and then I think about it more, and I'm like, okay, on the surface, they're not wrong. In a way, they're engaging with a more unnuanced version of what my actual position is. But in fairness, I presented a more unnuanced version. I didn't really present the nuance, so it's not real. Anyway, there was a little call-out comment from the last episode. And they're right, I think. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
You don't like parasocial relationships, but people ask people to join you after the show to delve deeper into your personal lives for money. You don't like it, but will exploit it for financial gain. I'm sure you don't see it that way, but on some level, you're adding to the problem you're complaining about. So, in an unnuanced way, if you just took the word parasocial at its core, at its on the surface, pretty much no notes. I would say this comment's actually kind of right. I do want to say, obviously, it should be obvious to people that if I'm using a categorical word like parasocial, I am speaking about some of the parts of it that are more nefarious. Parasocial relationships just being an imagined relationship a person has with the personality presented to them and a character, it could be even a fictional character, versus the moment you've actually met a person, you now have a non-parasocial relationship. Even if you still have conceptions and stuff, you might have both at the same time, a parasocial and non-parasocial. Now, where I would push back is say, one of my biggest problems with the parasocial attitudes on the internet is basically people deciding they know me on the basis of not who I actually am and who I say I am and whatever, but deciding that they know me based on what other people discuss, or, I saw this in his eyes, or the tone of voice, the body language. Everyone's a fucking body language expert on the internet. It's amazing. And so if I was pushing back, I would say, actually, I think what we're doing on Patreon, which I do enjoy, we have a little bit of fun. We often do these never have I ever games or questions, and sometimes they have an educational element. Sometimes it's just having fun. And it is meant to present a way of you are getting to know us, but at least you're getting to know us, right? It's not a snark snub subreddit about us. It's not a comment section that we're not participating with. You're participating with actual versions of stories. And sure, people then glob onto some of those stories and be like, oh, but I remember the time that he said, that kind of shit was really annoying in phases in the past. So you're kind of right, but the nuance, the take would be, there definitely is, am I contributing to the problem? I would say I'm more... The people who are going to be a problem are getting more from me that they will be able to fuel their problem with. But also the people who are just regular people, giving them an opportunity to actually get to know you, see if this person that they maybe like or admire as a debater or whatever else also lines up with their shit a little bit more. I think that's a positive thing, but you're right. That's still a parasocial relationship. So if I just say categorically, I fucking hate parasocial relationships, obviously I don't. Because how did I fucking pay my rent this month, right? If not, in part by parasocial.
But there's a difference between when you're when you are sharing personal information about yourself, it's like, as a public figure, you are sharing what you want to share. What people do with that information will determine whether that's a parasocial relationship or not. Like, there are plenty of people that I watch on various social media, whatever, that I love them. I think they're so fun, so like such funny content creators, whatever. People that even you're a really good example, because I watched your YouTube channel for a long time before I wanted to be your friend. But I never found a snark. I never reached out to you before it was like you were looking for people to do this. And there's a way to have boundaries there so that it was never parasocial. But I watched the channel and I was a subscriber and whatever. But you did not know I existed at all. Because it's a one-way relationship. That's what being a content creator, being a public figure is a one-way relationship. That's how it's meant to be. We create entertainment, we create content, and then we share it. In that sense, it's one way. Obviously, we receive whatever. We make money from the views. We make money from the Patreon. And we can't do this job without the support of people who are watching. But it's not a relationship. It's an entertainer and an audience.
It kind of feels to me like if I was like, oh my God, and fangirls, they can be really frustrating. They're like, well, Alyssa said she was a fangirl. It's like, no, Alyssa said she was a fan, but not like a fan.
I didn't know anything outside of what you shared on YouTube.
Yeah, which even that to some degree was obviously you have a different relationship with me that now you get to know that there's even things about that are different than the real me.
Totally.
The fact that y'all think I make eye contact so easy, everybody who hasn't met me in person, is hilarious to me. The fact that people think like, oh yeah, he'd probably be really loud at parties and stuff. I don't go to fucking parties, first of all. And then when I do, I'm like, which wall matches my shirt the most so I can blend into it? By the way, you did a gesture like this and I was like, who is?
I did that?
You did, and it was like, that is a deep fisting that's happening. That's
so funny.
That's wild.
Well, and sometimes that's the case.
Hey, all power to anybody who can handle that.
You know what?
I don't know. I feel like I like when I see moments like this where I'm like, old me would have just been so, how dare you?
I get their point, because now I'm even thinking about what I said, and there is a relationship there. It is transactional. It's not really one-sided. I don't know. It's nuanced. It's an interesting thing, and it's new. That's the thing it's like, there have always been celebrities, not always, but there have been celebrities for a really long time, and people who are entertainers and an audience, but the barrier between the two, like when you think of like the Beatles or Elvis Presley, like the barrier between an everyday person and the Beatles or Elvis Presley was very different than the like barrier that we have as content creators.
Even now, the access to us versus access to people treat us like we have the responsibilities and level of protection that millionaire celebrities have,
or the money that millionaire celebrities have. Chill out.
We definitely don't, and so then it's like we do not have the separation from. And I wish we did. No, I'm kidding. I love being able to just go to fucking Lowe's, but except for then leaving my house part, but that I have the option. To just go to Lowe's if I want to is nice. I don't know. It makes me think, and I'm actually glad to get something like this, because if anything, I'm like, ooh, on the surface, they're right. But that's because I failed to present the nuance. So hopefully it makes me better as a presenter. I will say, it's not fully one-sided, because I love when we do the bonus show and we like do the Never Have I Ever. And then people in the comments are like, oh, in reference to the Never Have I Ever, Heat outdoors or whatever the thing was. Like, here's that story. I read those stories in the comments on Patreon. And I'm like, it's just sort of fun, interesting stuff. Not like, I don't think we're sharing as much stuff that's like, oh, and that's my true love there. That's the man for me.
No, it's not. It's like very lighthearted and fun, for sure.
I don't think I'm getting Chris Evans treatment from many people. I don't think many people are watching and just like, oh, if he just knew how good I'd treat him.
No,
he just knew. And now it'd be tough. You'd have to beat how I'm already being treated. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about, I should have started the loop already. I'm bad at my job. You know,
You're just figuring it out.
people like to point out that when you run the board, it's much better.
Really?
She?
It's because I'm stressing out so much about it. It's because I'm spending the entire episode thinking about what buttons I need to press.
Plus the added benefit of being able to hurt my feelings. People will always, do
They
that.
love to do that. It's their
It's like-
favorite part of a parasocial relationship.
Jimmy and his robot, we're going to break through. We're going to make a meltdown, having feelings. We're going to talk about the new pope and probably a couple other news things. But this might be our only ad break. I think we are doing a short show today. And we've already been going 25 minutes. So when we return, the new pope.
This episode is brought to you by the amazing people on patreon.com/calltheline, where you can get the show ad-free and you get the extended episodes where we do bonus shows, which is most of the time. Head over to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up today. Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove...
Welcome back. There's a new pope. The smoke has risen. There is a new Catholic pope. Now, I didn't grow up Catholic. You did, right?
I did.
And you had a little bit of John Paul.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, I did.
And then you had a little bit of, what was he called? Peter Ratzinger. What was he called? Was he Pius? No, isn't that his real name? What was
Is that his name?
It was. What was the?
Yeah,
was
I
the
think you're
pope's
right. I think you're
called?
right.
What was the Nazi pope called?
Hold on.
Of the last few popes, or is Peter Ratzinger some other scumbag?
I don't know. I feel like Pope Peter.
Was it? I'm just remembering Hitchens saying Peter Ratzinger, and I'm like, what is that? Am I mixing up monsters?
Okay, so we had John Paul, then we had Benedict.
Oh,
then we
it's
had,
Joseph Ratzinger.
and then we had Francis, who just
Benedict was Joseph Ratzinger. Because once you get a pope, you get a pope name.
yeah,
So you have to pick between the pope names.
right.
So there's often like Pope Pius, Pope John Paul.
Is Joseph Ratzinger. Yeah.
It is weird that John Paul came right after John Paul. You had Pope John Paul II. The pope before him was Pope John Paul I.
I see that.
Very unoriginal.
It's so funny because when I was a kid, I thought that popes were pope, like because they're so old. I was like, and he must have been the pope for 100 years. It just feels like they would start being popes in their 30s and then just keep being popes. But that's not how that works.
Can you do a Chicago accent at all?
No.
Chicago. I can't really.
Chicago.
Chicago. Forget about it. Wait, no, that's not New York.
New York.
New Yorkers do forget about it. What's a good phrase that Chicago's over in Chicago?
I'll tell you, I don't fuck with a deep dish pizza. That's what I got for you.
I do like them Bears though. You know, we're over here and we're supporting them Chicago Bears, and you'll. I don't actually even know which fucking sport the Bears are, but I'll tell you this right now: over in Chicago, we're having the Bears and we're eating them too.
Oh Jesus God!
I think was that okay?
Sure.
Believable? If you'd heard that, you'd been like, "Oh, that's a funny Chicago accent," or would you be like,
I'd be like,
trying to
might
do?
be Minnesota.
Well, it's all up there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They're neighbors. Like that's how much difference is it? Because that's
I don't know.
up there in that middle.
I don't think I know anyone who's
East.
actually from Chicago, like with a Chicago accent.
Midwest is what it's called. I almost called it the Middle East. The Midwest. You know, but it's weird because it's called the Midwest, but it's really not that far west, and it's barely middle. Mm-hmm. I've always thought that's strange.
I think that is strange.
Is it called because geographically it's more like in the same area? No, it's not in the same area that the Middle East is in the other hemisphere. So no, it's just dumb. Who called that? And you know what's crazy is Colorado isn't officially a part of the Midwest. Did you know that?
No.
Colorado and Wyoming, neither of them are Midwest
really?
states. Right. And so it's like, well, I don't remember what they are, and I lived there.
That's weird.
Is Colorado Midwest? And it's going to say, no, it's a part of the Barbadar. It might just be called the like Mountain West or something. Mountain State region, not Midwest. But it's literally like the most it's on the western side toward the middle. If anything, Chicago is the Middle East. The Mideast.
Middle East?
That's what I'm saying. That's what it is. Now, listen, everybody. This is what I assume The new Pope sounds like, though, because now I'm getting Canadian.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Up there with the Bears.
We're
This is
losing
what
it a
that
little.
new Pope sounds like. So get your fucking P's and Q's in order.
Oh my God.
Now I sound like Sarah Palin. Don't fight with a pig because he'll put lipstick and you'll like it.
Oh my God.
That's my impression of her trying to say a saying.
Wait,
Don't fight with a pig or I'll have to fuck it.
I'm trying to find there was something I saw earlier today, a post about Trump saying that if we had a American Pope, it would be, oh yeah, okay. This is from Courier Newsroom. It's a Trump advisor. Said that an American Pope would indicate USA's political decline, which is interesting. And the quote is, Cardinal George of Chicago of happy memory was one of my great mentors. And he said, look, until America goes into political decline, there won't be an American Pope. And his point was, if America is kind of running the world politically, culturally, economically, they don't want America running the world religiously.
And here we are.
I
mean, the good news is Catholicism is losing power hand over fist more and more year over year.
Yeah.
It's just not. Even the people who are like refining even the nightmare generation from Gen Z, because Gen Z, there were other commenters talking about this week, but is definitely a split generation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, if you were in high school during COVID, you are a fucking nonsense person now. That's probably not your fault, but Jesus fucking Christ, what a bunch of fascists you are. Not all of you, obviously, we're going to have some people listen to this who are like, I'm not, but you know your fucking coworkers are. You know you're fucking like, yeah, it's weird. The older people in my family all voted for Harris, but amongst the Gen Z and all the younger ones, fucking fascists. They actually voted against gay marriage on the ballot. Wasn't even they wrote in on the ballot,
no
fuck the
gay
gays.
marriage.
Yeah. And it passed. It passed in our state. A write-in no gay marriage passed in Utah. That'd be crazy, but would totally happen. I don't remember why I wanted to shit on that half of Gen Z, but for real, y'all want to like talk about cringy millennials. And don't get me wrong, we invented like we reinvented virtue signaling. But at least we had virtues to signal. You fucking monsters.
At least we had virtues to signal.
You guys are fucking garbage people.
Yeah, it's bad.
Anyway, even they are rejecting. They reject Catholicism. It's not fucking ironically gay enough for them because they want to have all of their information given them by a shirtless muscle man while he's eating pizza, shitting on Greta Thunberg, about to get arrested for sex trafficking. That's the people we want. You fucking bunch of fucking, you guys are gay. You guys are kind of gay. Notice that? Like, look, I'm a queer man, so I get to say this, but you're
you get to say
gay,
it.
dude.
You get to say it, and
so gay.
for people that are offended, why are you homophobic?
Yeah, and why are you gay?
It's not a bad thing. You should be so lucky.
You guys are fucking gay. Anyway, speaking of you guys are fucking gay, Pope Leo XIV, what does that come out to? The 14th? Is that what XIV would be? Pope Leo the 14th. Born Robert Francis Prevost. That's like the name of a villain. The Prevost Corporation has just released so many bad fluids.
It's a Bond villain. It's a Bond villain.
Or the name. It's named, like, they own a Prevost Corporation. Oh, yeah.
Yes. It's like a pharmaceutical company.
Prevost Corp, yeah. They just dumped 1,000 liters of fentanyl into the Canadian streams.
Yes.
Moose everywhere are gonna party. Because that's what happens when you dump fentanyl into streams. The moose are just all like, bro, can I suck your dick for some more water? Jesus Christ. I'll do the gayest moose stuff. That was a shout out for the Andrew Tate fans because I know you guys needed it to be gay because you guys are gay.
100%.
I'm gonna get canceled. I know.
But truly, I think about how I was talking about this earlier today about Andrew Tate and how crazy it is that like this man who is bald, unmarried, doesn't have a girlfriend, literally had chinless, had to trap women in his house so that they would date him. And then all of these men want to be like him. And I'm like, for what? Whose approval are you trying to get? Because he doesn't even have the approval of the women around him.
I can only make fun of people for being chinless for like 2 more days. In theory, if we raise $100,000, I've only got 2 days left. The chinless insults are about to get unhinged, people. I just like how it's like, I just imagine them at home listening to Andrew Tate and they're like, I'm a little bored. I might take this off. I might turn this show. Oh, I took a shirt off. Now I'm going to lean in and listen.
Now I'm going to lean in and listen.
Makes a lot more sense. Because honestly, he has a weird shaped body too.
He's
I know
ugly.
he's all built and stuff, and we shouldn't body shame him, but also fuck him. He's sex trafficked, so
ugly.
Body shame sex traffickers. Cha cha cha. That's my.
And
new
I also
heartbeat.
think that he. I'm okay with making fun of his looks because he relies so heavily on making fun of other people and their looks, and he'll take every cheap shot available to him and then be a sex trafficker. And I will never forget, it's burned into my brain when there was a YouTube video where he was demonstrating how he treats the women around him, and he was going like this, like motioning a headlock and like punching someone in the head. So anyway, he's ugly.
I am very badass.
He sucks.
So anyway, this is the new Pope elected on the 8th of the and the white smoke rises. Elected May 8th. He's American by birth, Peruvian by naturalization. One can assume that his Duolingo score is high. Does Duolingo have scores? Could you help me out here?
They do they? I think so. Well, you get like like little awards and like when you have a streak. I don't know. Did I just get very dark?
You did, yeah.
I'm facing a window. Maybe that's why.
I wish. Oh my god.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'll fix my camera. I am not bilingual. I wish that I was. My family speaks Italian. And
it's not a skill of mine. There are people in my family who are good at picking up new languages, and I feel like I get really into it for a week, and then I'm just like, I learned enough phrases to pretend to impress people. I'm good.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too. I have a really hard time with language.
Yeah, I have a hard time with English. Let me become fluent in English.
Yeah.
And then I'll try another language. Oh, man, I don't care. I just realized that we did all this thing about we're going to do a big Pope show.
The big Pope show.
Who cares?
Well, do you think
there's a new Pope?
Well, I think people are going to care. People are going to care that it's an American Pope.
Yeah. Chicago.
Because that's
Chicago.
This is the first time that's literally ever happened.
Trilingual, which is a thing we pretend when somebody knows Spanish and Italian, like you don't only have to learn 5 rules to change it.
Right.
It's like Spanish. Italian is just zesty Spanish.
I think
like, ¿Cómo se llamas?
Oh my God.
I do love watching videos of Italian grandparents freaking out at their grandkids breaking the spaghetti.
Breaking pasta.
Which, who cares? I'm not saying like, so fine, but what does it actually do? What does it hurt to break this? I don't break the spaghetti because I got it shamed out of me too, but who cares? You're getting it wet.
The Nonna cares. Nonna cares. Oh, wow.
Nonna cares.
Nonna cares.
When Nonna dies, can we all agree that we crack
our pasta?
The spaghetti? I crack the spaghetti.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of
other
other
dead body.
Oh, I'm trying to think of other silly things that like Italian people care about. There's a lot.
Catholicism.
We brought
it back.
Well, yeah, like pray. We brought it back around. Like praying to Saint Anthony to find things, and then when we do find the thing, being like, see, that was Saint Anthony. Mm-hmm. You see that?
Pope Francis made this guy a cardinal back in 2023, which I don't know if that matters at all because I don't know if you have to be a cardinal to become a pope.
All of it is like made up. It's all like this
black
like the
and
higher
red dresses. I know.
Yeah, but like, what does that even? All of it is just made up. It's all made up, and it means
you were raised Catholic. I'm like, I could tell you how the Mormons work, but I don't know how this garbage works.
Well, the thing that's also funny about it is like I don't remember learning anything about like what a cardinal was, what the difference was between a cardinal and an archdiocese or whatever. I don't know. All of that stuff was like not really information that I absorbed if they tried to teach it to me. And I don't know. Catholics are just, and I guess like for all religions, but I can speak from my experience with Catholics, are really good at cherry picking the pieces of information they want and the pieces of information they don't care about. So, it's just more of that, I think.
I'll say this. He's clearly been exposed to poverty, mostly in Peru. I probably like that about him. Usually that means religious people like him will be a little bit better on issues of things like welfare and stuff. He's not expected to be very much a social reformer. Pope Francis was much more of a reformer. So like when it comes to like marginalized groups, Francis is reforming things on marginalized groups. This guy is kind of expected to maintain whatever Francis sort of established, but probably not go any further. You're probably not going to see much on queer rights. You're not going to see, I do know. So Francis was at least open to talking about like women, like women's roles and at least talk about it. Wouldn't endorse it, but would talk about the potential of women in the future being deacons and stuff. And this guy is a no. He's a no. No girls. No girls allowed.
What are you going to do?
Don't know what his attitudes are. Let me see if I can quickly find what are the Pope's attitudes on sex abuse in the church. You know, because that kind of shit matters.
That would be interesting.
I'd expect a lot of status quo with this guy, though. And I doubt he's going to be like shouting down. Like Francis would like hit back on Trump from time to time. I wouldn't expect a lot of that from old Leo.
Apparently he already has spoken out about Trump and
Tell
JD
me more.
Vance.
Tell me more. Why'd you guys kill Francis? Was that it? Why'd you guys?
Let's see. Pope Leo.
What positions? On sex abuse in the church. What did? I want to know what he said.
New American Pope once blasted Vance, apparently. Let's see. This is from The Independent. Prevost, who has taken the name Pope Leo XIV, has shared several highly critical posts about Trump and his immigration policies on X. One scathing post Prevost retweeted read, "There's nothing remotely Christian, American, or morally defensible about a policy that takes children away from their parents and warehouses them in cages. This is being carried out in our name, and the shame is on us all."
Yeah, it looks like, just looking at a lot of stuff, it looks like a lot of people are saying where he could have stepped up on the sex abuse stuff, he didn't. And so this guy may have even been sympathetic to some of the cover-ups that were happening, and people really wanted more out of more out of him. That was a hiccup. Sometimes I get like 15 minutes of hiccups and I don't know why.
Really? That's a long time.
Now, it started last year, and now the internet's going to be like, bro, that's from a type of cancer. That's hiccup cancer.
That's hiccup cancer. Please.
It might be good though. You gotta fill the dead air if I have to hold my breath.
Okay. What can we fill the dead air with?
I think I'm good. I think we got it.
Okay. Because I didn't have anything else I was going to say after that. Honestly, that's all I got.
The new Pope, American. He's not going to reform things, and there were like multiple people of color Pope candidates, and they went with the white American guy. Like, it's crazy how Americanified this country, the world is like still being. There is something weird about that. He might be as lovely as a guy as you could have for Pope, though I doubt it. But I don't know. I keep wanting to joke about, like, anyway, here I am at my studio in the Rocky Mountains, just to annoy people, because that's obviously not the Rocky Mountains. But anyway, here I am. But what am I? Obviously, I'm in America right now, sat at the base of the Rocky Mountains here in, let's say, Idaho. Oh, I should have gone with a state that has no Rocky Mountains. Here I am in this base of the Rocky Mountains in the beautiful state of Florida. And I don't know, any other news you want to bring up? Anything you saw that?
Let's see. I feel like there's been some stuff.
Bill Gates went after Elon Musk. That was cool.
That is
said that
cool.
Elon Musk is hurting poor people, essentially. And that's true.
That is true.
That's true.
I don't know if there is anything that I want to specifically bring up. I feel like it's that the Pope is the big one. It is, this week is Trans History Week, so that's kind of fun. So if you are, if
But
you know,
veterans don't get a week. They do.
don't they get a
but-
month?
Yeah, they get their own month also. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they get a month and a couple of holidays. Because I would argue, like, there are days like Military Day and Veterans Day.
Yeah, they're all the
and
same, no?
And then the 4th of July, I feel like, is kind of a military day too. I know it's
It
Independence
is.
Day, but how do we, like, it's literally, you get free meals if you go into place and you're like, I'm in the military. I don't know. I don't get it. All right, I don't care about the rest of the news. I gotta get back to my shit.
I'm gonna pee and take a shower and restart. I'm so tired.
We have too much to do, so much to do, so much to
So
see.
much
So
to
what's
do.
wrong with taking the back streets?
Oh,
No bonus show today, unless we could do something. If you got an idea for one, I could maybe fit in a 5-minuter, but I got no ideas. I
have
wasn't
no
planning on
ideas.
doing one.
And I think because we both have stuff to do today, we haven't not done a bonus show in a really long time.
I don't think we're doing a bonus show. I'm like trying to think of anything. Like, I'm gonna start playing the outros.
I'm
By the end of this, I can
pooped.
think of one.
I'm
Well, all right,
pooped.
let's do whatever. I'm gonna type into. We'll do a short one. What would be a good idea for a patron bonus show for our podcast?
Okay, while you
that
figure that
will
out, I'm gonna
last
pee.
5
Bye, y'all.
minutes.
See you
All
in the
right.
bonus show.
She'll be back for the bonus show. Maybe turn off your camera too. I don't know. Nah, all right. Do what you're gonna do. People are gonna be looking at the door weird. People are weird. Oh, I don't. Okay, some of these don't work because we're not live. That was the show. Bye. Oh, I need to hit the thing. Glug up, glug up.